MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace on a wet Tuesday.
It is. It's a messy, messy day.
As you and I were talking before we went live, it's almost like the old saying, raining cats and dogs.
It is. So if you've got to travel on the roads, be careful because the rain is just sitting right on it's just puddling on the roads.
Can't pass, can you, Candace?
Yeah, well, I did. I did this morning. I had to get here. So somebody was just going real slow. So.
They couldn't get there fast enough?
Yeah. I was safely passing.
What's that old saying of they only come to town once a month? When you get behind somebody like that, they just slow.
Well, I know it you probably should go really slow, but I'd have been late.
Let's take a look at radar this morning of just where it is raining cats and dogs. And we do see that. The further south you go, the heavier it gets. Now, northern Lauderdale County is heavy. Let's turn on locations where you can see exactly where this stuff is. We start up here by the Sam Dale Monument all the way over to NAS Meridian coming down. You've got it here in the Bailey area out by West Lauderdale High School. But as you get further, now there's a little patch right there to the east of 493. When you get here south of town, on out by the Evangel Temple, these areas here, Plant Sweat, look how heavy that is.
Yeah.
Clarke County, Northern Enterprise, y'all are getting it.
Yeah. It wasn't that heavy out our way where you couldn't where you couldn't see the road, but it is a messy day.
It is. So we want you to be careful no matter what you do. While we're on the subject of weather, let's pull it up and just let you see what the forecast calls for this week as we look at our extended forecast of temperatures and what's going to happen here. Here we are. 64 today. That's not bad. It's warmer than it was.
Yeah.
We'll get down to 50% chance of rain tonight, and then it's going to be 70 tomorrow. Warmer, and by afternoon, sunshine breaks out. And then you'll get that afternoon shower on Friday and the weekend. Look how good that looks. 69, 74?
Springish weather.
We are on the brink of it, aren't we?
Yeah. But everybody's going to get the spring fever, start planting all this stuff, and then hopefully we don't have another big cold spell, but
So I have to ask, have you given in to the temptation yet? And the temptation that I'm talking about, have you stared at your grass and gone, I can't take it anymore?
Yesterday I was on the verge. I told Kurt, I was like, I need to get out there and cut the grass. He said, there's only so many hours in the day, because I was at painting furniture.
Yeah.
I was doing this, and I was like, I need to cut the grass. Because, the little purple flowers pop up, and you just...
You want it slick looking.
And everybody else on my road has cut their grass, so... We're the homely.
Oh, you're the bunch.
Got the homely yard. Yeah. Anyway.
Now, we hadn't done it yet either, but it's getting pretty close to where it is time to cut the grass. So
yeah, it's not like it would be in the summertime, but still, once you start cutting it though,
it's on. It's every week.
Yeah.
It's like feeding the stray dog in the neighborhood. You feed him once, he's there.
I know. I see Wayne Roberts said should be camping. That they're there, they're having a big time. I really wanted to, but it just didn't work out right now. Maybe we can go, before the week is up.
Well, we wish you luck with that.
Just a few days. We have a ball tournament this weekend, so
ooh,
it wouldn't work out for the weekend. But anyway,
so you're still into that travel ball, I take it.
Yes, we are. So I think Flowwood's where we're headed for the weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't miss those days.
It's fun when you get there. It's just
getting there,
preparing for it sometimes.
And then your whole Saturday shot. And
it's a 2-day, Saturday and Sunday. So anyway,
this just keeps getting better and better. Makes me want to go sign up just to travel around.
Oh,
good morning, Les Alexander. Good to see you. Kim Carmichael up today. Glad to see you there in the Long Creek area. Y'all got a lot going on there.
Miss Gail Gafford, good morning to you. And Denise Burnside, she's watching this morning.
Teresa Short watching us from the big city of Lost Gap. Always good to see y'all.
Brenda Gordon's in Philadelphia. Bill Reinhardt, he's watching from DeKalb. And Teresa Short, she's in Lost Gap, Mississippi.
Give it here. Moscow. Barbara Vick, how are you today? Natalie, how are you doing, Miss Brister? I'm going to call you by your maiden name because that's all I can ever remember. I have such a hard time, and I apologize to everybody. I think of them as, I guess, as they were kids or in high school, and I could never make that new name click.
What?
When somebody gets married, of calling them by their married name.
Oh,
it's
right.
it's whatever they were before they got married.
Yeah.
So you Miss Brister from now on. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that is kind of, it's hard to do. You know, you want to call everybody. Even when I'm trying to explain to somebody, I always go by their maiden name.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Facebook, you learn that that ends up being their middle name on a lady, their maiden name.
Yeah.
I'm slow, but I'm sure I'm getting there. And then there are a few that do those names where they don't put that, and you can't track them down because you don't know who they married.
Right.
And then you take somebody been married 7 times, like Elizabeth, and Lord have mercy, you never get them.
Well, you know, when we were doing our reunion, the first or the second time, really it was around the second time because most people are married by then. It was hard to find people, like you said, especially the ladies who have gotten married if they don't have their maiden name included in anything like a Facebook page or
Right.
you know. So
Yeah, and
Anyway.
put your other name on your nameplate there if you're walking around, because sometimes you don't look like you used to.
yeah,
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying there could be that one person that wouldn't recognize you. Anyway, it's fun to reminisce about the old days. And, it's been, they only had a 10-year class reunion for our bunch, and ain't nobody wanted to get, I guess it was just a fiasco or something because they ain't asked nobody back since then.
we've had one. We've had 3 or 4 already, I guess, and we're fixing to have another one. It's our 30 year, and we've already started. We met one time. I'm on the little planning group for that, and I don't know exactly, where it's going to be, but we're getting in gear for it. So,
In my
we went
head,
to West Lauderdale and graduated in 1992.
92.
We're fixing to have our 30 year.
Ooh, so I could add 5 more. 5. Oh, I'm gonna have that's 5 more for me since I graduated.
We're getting old.
But as you were sitting there telling that story, and I don't mean anything bad by this, I just want to be honest about what went through my head. I've been to 2 class reunions, one for me at my 10 year, and then I think it was Angie's I don't remember if it was her 20th or her 30th. And each time when everybody congregated back together, somebody ran off with somebody's wife.
Oh, really? Well, I've heard of that.
Each time.
I've heard of that.
Like they ain't seen each other in 40 years. You think they're any better than they were 40 years ago? Nah.
I've heard of that, yeah.
That happened. I witnessed it. I was sitting there sipping on my Coke going, something going on over there at table
He's
2.
looking at her.
So that happens. Let's see what's going on in the community. I wanted to bring this up. And again, you can go to our website and check this out under Scotty Ray and Candace under the Southern American Network. sammedia.network is where you go. And we pull this up so you can see this. They're having a chicken cooking. Ain't nothing like a good old Southern chicken cooking in Marion, Mississippi.
That's right. Looks like you get more than just chicken.
Yeah, the Shriners.
Get chicken. It's a leg quarter. They say dirty rice, mac and cheese, and a piece of bread.
All there, $10.
$10 a plate.
And I talked about this earlier. And the Shriners just do so much for kids and the community. If you can help them out, that's going to be in Marion this weekend. That's going to be between 10 and 2 there.
On Saturday. Saturday, March 19th.
Big metal building, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So check them out. Also, our friends over in Long Creek are getting ready for some pancake mix. Down at the firehouse on April the 2nd. They will have their big pancake breakfast. And again, volunteer fire departments, they rely so much on the community, and they're the ones that show up at 2 a.m. when you accidentally leave the stove on or whatever the case is.
Right. They're on call at all times.
Saturday, April the 2nd from 7 until 11. They're on Zero Road. They'll whoop it up, tote it out to you. I think they'll even let you eat inside. See them there. All the details, again, there at sammedia.network if you want to read more about that. And again, if your group, community has something going on like that, tell us about it so we can get that on. Others will know what you're doing.
That's right.
Richard White. If you're planning your class reunion, the Shriners do rent for class reunions also.
All right. I know that there was somebody had a wedding reception there one time, so I did hear that.
That just ties in with all the talk there of class reunions.
I know.
So check that out. Let's see here. John Talbert, good morning to you. Joyce Gressett, she finished in 65 And she said they have one every 5 years.
I think that's good. I think it's good to every now and then just kind of get together with people and eat or something. It's nice to kind of stay in touch with people.
Right, so you could identify them in a lineup later.
But, we've lost like 7 in our class already. I think that's what we figured out the other day, 7 people that we've lost.
It was like 160 in my class, and I honestly only see on a regular basis 3 or 4 people on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's passed away.
Yeah, that's about kind of like ours is. But anyway, it's sad when you hear of somebody passing away. Go with all those years.
But that is so true. In that last day of high school, when you throw that cap and gown in the air, or the cap, whatever it is, most of them you will probably never see again after that.
I know, and that's the sad thing. And you really don't realize that until after, the fact. And kind of everybody just moves on and starts a new life, has new friends and stuff. But, I do have a handful of my friends that I do keep in touch with. And, they've been my friends since, gosh, we started in first grade.
Right.
Kindergarten, first grade. And so we're 47 now. Anyway.
And I sometimes see people that were in grades a couple older than me, and I like to point out Sandy Hemingway Clarke, who is a teacher out at MCC, is older than me, but I still see her.
I bet she's 11 years old. Singing your praises.
There's a few folks that are younger that I bump into also. Let's see, April said she graduated in 97, and she hadn't been to a class reunion there. I ain't even going to ask Gail Gafford what year she graduated in. No, I'm not going to do it.
We have some people that have never came, and I hate that because, I would love to see some of the people that we haven't ever gotten to come. We invite everybody, but, anyway.
Well, that's your class reunion update.
Yes, that is class reunion 101.
Maybe you picked up on a few things there. Also, I read this yesterday, and you really have to respect someone who goes that extra mile and goes, that's real nice. And she's done this twice in the last year where they tried to put up a statue of her at the state capitol. And she went, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not that big. And yesterday, as we go back to sammedia.network, we pull this up of Dolly. She turned down and bowed out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And she was very simple. She made it in a Facebook post there that she did not feel that she deserved that.
Yeah.
She's country. She was not rock and roll. And she just didn't feel that she deserved it. You have to really respect someone who stands up and goes, that's real nice of y'all. Well, that's real nice, as we Southerners say.
Yeah, I like Dolly. Oh. I think she's a special kind of person.
You think of the headlines that you've heard about her in the last year. All of her employees now can go to college for free. They're going to pay for it.
Right.
And it just goes on and on.
You just don't hear of that. And not everybody can do that.
No.
And it's a great blessing that she can do that. But anyway.
Let's see. Leslie Jordan says that she doesn't do crowds, but we are more than welcome to come visit her at the archives and history in the department downtown. And that is such a thing. If you've never visited that, do that. Meridian has a lot of history, and the state does. They house a lot of that.
Well, Leslie, you need to come this year because it's not that big of a crowd.
She graduated with
It's kind of like at break, when we did still have break back in school, and everybody's just kind of standing around. It's kind of like that. So.
Now, I'll say this, and I saw it at Angie's. I didn't see it so much at my 10-year anniversary. But do y'all remember the little cliques that were in high school?
Yeah.
It was the same thing at the class reunion. This group stayed over here, this group over there, and they all didn't mingle.
I mingle. I talk to everybody. Like, yeah.
Hey, y'all, what y'all doing? Let me over here up amongst y'all.
Yeah.
Don't you think you're a little old to be wearing that outfit? Woo!
Now, yeah. I don't know. I'm just glad to see everybody. If I see anybody even out in public eating, I'm just always glad to see people.
But you know what I just said. There's always that one person that can't accept the fact that they shouldn't be wearing that.
Yeah.
Join in with me.
Or if you have alcohol at the event, one person that can't
handle it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's a few thoughts of what goes on at Clash. And, it brings back to mind, all that being said, who remembers this? And we need to update it. And I'll let you sing it. But who remembers?
Let me sing it.
Yeah,
I don't know
because
about that.
we could change the words to fit now. The Statler brothers, the class of 57. You could change that to the class of 87 or 97. And it goes on. Do you remember the song?
I know.
And it...
I'm sitting here agreeing with you, but I don't think I do. I don't think I've ever heard it. Now, if I did hear it, I might recognize it.
It just described what happened to everybody. The class of 57 was going to change the world. They went their separate ways. Johnny ran off with somebody's wife. This guy's working for Sears. And it just goes on to tell who's playing organ at the church. And they all thought they would change the world. Yeah. And, well, that happens.
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of people have all these expectations before they graduate. And, some people live them out, and then some people don't ever get there. And then you have a reunion 30 years later, and you're just glad to be there. We're just glad to see everybody.
And you did tap onto something about dreams and things, but sometimes you can't live your dreams because of responsibilities. You take like George Bailey, the guy who wanted to go to college, and he couldn't because he had responsibilities at home that he had to help others in the family. And that does happen.
And too, the Garth Brooks song, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers.
Because she turned out ugly and I didn't marry her. I remember that song.
My eye is watering this morning if y'all are wondering what I'm doing. But anyway, I mean, sometimes what you think you need or want in life is not actually what turns out to be, and you end up being happy and
you just don't know
healthy or
some of God's greatest gifts.
That's right.
Unanswered prayers is the name of that. And that does happen. Y'all stay close because we got a whole lot more coming this morning as we take you through a wet Tuesday morning here with Scotty Ray and Candace.
As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry X-Mark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Accidents happen, but getting you everything you deserve may not happen without an experienced law firm on your side.
From the moment you call, we go to work.
Investigating responsibly while keeping you updated constantly.
We're available 24 hours a day, so don't wait.
For more than 30 years, we've helped get our injured clients' medical bills paid
and fought to get them the most money possible. Remember, one call, that's all.
Or is that the fan?
It's interesting.
I'm talking. I said, it's pouring rain, or is that the fan?
Okay.
Live television.
Ain't nothing like it.
You can't beat it.
As you sit here, you're going, it's so neat to sit here and read when people graduated. Christy Johnson said 2005, and I didn't go to our reunion. 67, Pat Banks said she loves the Statler Brothers song. As you go down through here in the show with Central reunions, also my 25th has a reunion coming up. And, then there's that thing of I need to lose weight. You always see that on TV. You got to get in shape for your 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
I just went as I was. Can't change what I am.
I'll be going as I am unless, I drop a few pounds before then. I don't know. Anyway.
It's just part of 73, Patsy Gilbert, Roy, class of 72. It's interesting to read all those. And thank you for the comments. It's so nice of y'all to do that for us.
Yeah.
Clarke County, as we look at a few of the headlines locally, had their largest bust of drugs in the county's history. Now, this happened on the 10th, but they released all the information yesterday. Nearly 10 pounds of meth. And I said that 10 pounds as we go back to the website to look at that. Look. Now, I don't know anything about meth, but
I don't either. I'm looking at it going, okay.
I couldn't identify that.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I mean.
And it went on to say it was over 2,500 of fake pills that they were panning off as something else. And Lord knows what that could do to you if you were to take it. Right. But there's always someone out there who's addicted who will take that, and then death comes.
I mean, I've heard of people just like going through people's medicine cabinet, taking anything. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah, boy, when you need
scary.
that Pepto, you got to jump right in there and look for it.
Right.
We had 2 arrests with that also that have been taken to jail. Now, as we go to other things, Clarke County was the headliner of what went on. as we pull up here and we go to the Clarke County Hot Topics page, this was the scene last night, as you see here, vans going, police lights everywhere. And you go, well, I hadn't heard anything. Well, there was a murder in Quitman last night. It was a young lady. I have not gotten her age yet, but at least 2 individuals we know have been arrested. As talk goes, there may have been a dispute over her, and they began shooting at each other, and she was shot and killed in the scuffle of this. Horrifying. But numerous people's heard the shot, because Quitman is small town America.
Right.
If there's a gunshot, people hear it. And it was over near the co-op is where that sound to it. Stainback Street is where it was. And that's near the co-op. We pass along condolences to the family and the city of Quitman, because it is a tight-knit neighborhood. You don't want to hear things about like that in your neighborhood. I teased this morning. Things are getting so bad with criminals that they're having to resort to new means of stealing things. And what do I mean by that? Well, gas is too high to drive a getaway car. And yesterday I had reports of folks getting away on bicycles.
Oh, they stole a bike.
They were riding a bicycle after.
Oh, I thought you meant they stole somebody's bike.
The getaway car was a bicycle because they couldn't afford gas. Now, the police caught them after about an hour of pedaling around and hiding behind things. But if you'll remember, the counterfeiter that used the counterfeit money at Cash Saver over the weekend also rode away on a bicycle. That's 2. We had another incident yesterday where the Meridian, it was a foot chase to where they ain't even got a car or a bicycle. It's so bad. They're having to just run it on hoof.
Goodness.
Bless their hearts. They're really getting workouts at the police department.
Yeah, but the criminals can't afford the guns and the ammunition.
Yeah.
Can't afford a gallon of gas.
Oh, boy. But that's some of the things that are happening in our community that we try to keep you up to date with, just so you're aware of where things go on and what happens behind the scenes. What did you see?
Denise Moles said, my husband said the Clarke County Slim Fast program got busted. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
If you ever seen anybody that does that, they are pretty slim.
Yeah.
And sometimes need some.
And the meth seems to make people break out.
It's a bad thing. If you've ever seen pictures of somebody who, before they ever got on it, and then the end result after being on it for a long time, it's a awful thing.
It's almost like that Little Debbie program, the before and after you get to eating Little Debbie products, how you... That's me.
It's bad. It's bad, and I feel for anybody who has got that addiction or has a family member that has that addiction. I know we kind of joke every now and then about stuff, but it is a serious matter. I mean, it really is, and I hate it for people.
You cannot reason with someone who is on drugs. No. They imagine things, and they really think people are trying to get them.
Right, they do. And it's a scary thing. Because, I mean, who's to say they wouldn't hurt somebody else? You know?
Amy Barrett watching from Robertsdale. Glad to see you there. A rainy day down there. Good morning to Helen Joe Smith. Glad to see you. Oh, we had a wreck last night on I-59 in the area there. Happened at the mile marker 144, car flip. No one was hurt, but still a scary situation.
Oh, yeah.
It was taken care of. They're going to be all right, but it did slow down traffic for a few moments. We had some reports of vandalism, nothing bad, and a couple of shots fired overnight. Nothing was hit, but that's a rundown of what happened in our community overnight. I wanted to bring this up and say congratulations to Patrick Allen, one of the businesses in our area. A lot of times you do stuff and nobody knows that it happens.
Right.
But they do garage doors, and they were recognized there in the top 50 in the nation, number 18 of putting up commercial doors. That's a big deal out of the whole United States.
That is good. That's wonderful.
And then they were recognized out of the top 100 Door Association as number 34. So, again, congratulations to Patrick Allen Companies for getting that.
A great honor.
Accolades.
Yes.
I remember back years ago when we were nominated, and I had the honor, not many people can say this, of being nominated for CMA, Country Music Association, CMAs, of being radio announcer of the year. I got that honor 3 times. I never won, but being one out of 5 people in the whole United States to get that, it was truly, but not everybody goes, well, what is that? But that was truly one of the most distinguishing things that ever happened. I didn't win it, but I was yay close, as they say.
Yeah. Do they have a category for top media?
For top losers? No.
A top media thing?
No, I don't know if they do or not. We'll have to dig into that.
Yeah.
We want to win something.
Yeah, we do.
Put us in the race there. If this is your first time to ever watch us, thank you for joining us. And again, you can watch us online. You can join us on YouTube. Easy to find there. Sam Media. You can look us up that way. On Facebook, Scotty Ray's Weather, you'll find us there.
We're also on Channel 24, MeTV Meridian.
24.3 on Comcast Cable 248.
That's right.
And that's in Newton and also in Philadelphia Meridian. So there's several ways to get us. We ain't going away.
So
we still got.
There's no excuse.
No, we got another 35 minutes to bother you.
If I keep dabbing my eye, I'm sorry, but it's watering because I think my allergies are kicking up. So
allergies is bad.
Something is blooming or something outside, and I'm not the first person who said this. I've had several people come in.
Do you think you're allergic to me?
I don't think so.
It's like
it could be, Scotty Ray. I don't know.
My baby girl is allergic to lumber. You would just be cats. She can't even get within 10 feet of a cat, or her eyes swell up about that big.
Well, I was standing outside. I was telling you yesterday, talking to Angie, and for like 10 minutes I was outside. And when I got back in the car, my eyes felt like they were starting to kind of like get puffy. So, yeah. Anyway, something's blooming.
As we go to some headlines around the nation, this is one of those, and I teased this morning. Watch who you date. A woman lured an old boy. I imagine she looked pretty doggone good, is the best way to put it. She lured him over to her house, and that was about the time she put him in handcuffs.
Oh.
Then she started beating him.
Is this Misery, the movie?
Oh, it was horrible. Then she breaks out Facebook Live and calls somebody that's kin to him and said, if you don't give me $100,000, I'm going to kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
When it took them 24 hours to find her. He was barely clinging to life. She meant it. She is going to take him out.
So she didn't know him. She had
researched.
Obviously, she'd researched him though before.
Found out the family could afford a little bit.
That's scary. That's scary.
So watch dates like that. You'd think that it would be a man that would do that, but no, this was a woman. Now I don't know whether she had help to restrain him, or if he just wasn't able to take her. Maybe she was bigger than him. I don't know, but she cuffed and stuffed him and beat him.
That's awful. I mean, you can't. It is
funny.
kind of.
It's humorous, but also at the same time, there's bad people in this world.
Gosh, yeah.
You don't think of somebody doing that. Let's see here. Idaho's going to do the same thing that Texas has done on a ban on abortion. They're going to mimic the law in Idaho. Thumbs up to Idaho, as I mentioned that this morning also.
And what that is you can't do an abortion after 6 weeks.
Right.
So
now we go to the next thing. There's so many companies that are backing out of Russia right now. And they're going, if y'all are going to do this, we're not going to do this. But Papa John's Pizza, still making pizzas every day in Russia. They're one of very few American companies that are still doing that. They haven't told us why they're still doing that. Maybe they need the money. I don't know, but they're still whooping up pizzas down there for those folks. A lot of people disagree with that. Another thing that we mentioned, and I posted this yesterday, this is the second time that a boat accident has happened. When was it? The couple that was in Cancun.
Right. When they come up.
Scuba diving.
They came up right by the propeller.
Now we go to a lady that falls off a boat yesterday. Her boyfriend is the son of a billionaire. So they were getting married, I think, in 2 or 3 days.
And it was like from what I read on the thing, it was like a fishing tournament going on, and she had fallen off, or the captain bumped her and knocked her off or something. And so the fiance jumps in to get her and help save her.
And it went south from there. He also, the wake of the boat, as you know how those waves are, sucked him into the propellers. He was DOA on arrival.
That's awful.
They got her out, but he did not make it. And again, it was a 2 or 3 day period. Within a week that they were going to get married.
That's so sad. That's awful.
That one caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. That's some of the things that are happening there nationwide. There. And here's something: as so many people and politicians is who I blame. Defund the police, defund the police. Well, these people that want the money from the companies, tax them more, tax them because they got the money. In downtown Seattle, the downtown office of Amazon, and you would think, I don't have the tax numbers in front of me, but this is a lot of money. They are moving 1,800 workers from the Amazon plant that is downtown Seattle, Washington, out of the city. Why? Crime is too bad for their employees. Now, that's going to take taxes down. That's going to do a lot of things. That's going to take people that are walking to work or around that buy products in that area. It's gone. All because you, Seattle, wanted to defund the police.
Yeah.
And then putting American lives at risk. I have to say that.
Right. Ooh. And we know this was it was like a domino effect, too.
So. Was this planned? Absolutely. All of this stuff. Do you not think that this state called this state and said, hey, we're going to defund the police. Why don't y'all do it? And they all had their little group meetings. We know that happened behind the scenes. Can I prove that? No.
Well, most of them were Democratic-run cities,
correct.
Too, that happened with. So
it was very few of those that were Republican-run that done that. Most of those stood for law and order, and you got to stop all of this.
Right.
But, boy, if you spoke up, you got condemned. Never seen anything like it. Remember the people that were throwing, and make sure I pronounce this right, Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
I think so.
Had to say it slow. But there was 2 attorneys that threw that into a building, lit, and they were acquitted. How does this happen?
It's crazy.
And we're going to tell you some more here in a minute about crimes that have happened. And I think all of this leads up, if you don't punish people for what they do, you have 30 more that are watching going, oh, they got away with it. Let me go do it now.
Right. And then when it's all over about the crime, they want to blame somebody else.
Yeah.
For it. So
not right at all. So those are some things that are happening in the U.S. today as we tell you stories and things. Right now, I want to tell you about our friends that really take care of you when it comes to food and gas and all of that. Maple's One Stop Shop is what I'm talking about, where you'll get your breakfast this morning at the Chevron on St. Paul Street, or you can drop into Causeyville, where they're probably holding court this morning. Drop on in, get yourself a biscuit, bacon. Look at all that. It does look good.
That's good. I might have to drive out to Causeyville.
Ooh, yeah. Easy to pull in. A great big parking lot there. And as we look at the menu, they're going to have a great special today. Today is Tuesday. It's Hamburger Steak Day. And I'm telling you, Candace loves baked beans along with mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, rice and gravy, Now, I'm a black-eyed peas kind of person.
I am too. Black-eyed peas and cornbread.
Whew,
I was raised on that.
I know.
Yeah.
Green beans and also a roll or cornbread. And you get all of that along with a sweet tea, a meat, and 2 sides for $8.99. You take your pick what you want. That's happening there. Again, Chevron there at St. Paul Street or out in Causeyville. And, of course, they got coffee programs still going on, cool drinks anywhere you want to go. They got 6 locations scattered around that you can take advantage of, from getting yourself, a lottery ticket, anything. Bonita, Pine Springs Country Store, Causeyville Chevron, or you can drop into the Last Chance Tobacco, Broadmoor Chevron, the 31st Avenue Chevron. Any of these places that take care of you. See them today.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville are passing along these great savings this week. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $6.99. Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, 18-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $11. Brine sliced bacon, 12-ounce package, $3.99. Certified Angus beef chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. And select T-bone steak, $7.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. At Patrick Allen Companies, our philosophy is simple. We want to give you more than you expect. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Welcome back to Scotty Ray and Candace on this wet Tuesday morning. And let's take a quick look again at radar, as rain always is messing with the area. You want to know about where it's raining there. Again, Lauderdale, look at this. We are cutting up with some rain right now. The West Lauderdale area, that's heavy rain all the way into southern Kemper, and also Neshoba County getting a lot. Look at Newton County and pouring down here in Quitman.
Definitely take your umbrella today. You're going to need it.
Yes, sirree. Raincoat, anything like that.
Rain boots.
All right, let's step back in time and look at a few things that happened on this date. This guy was the first one to marry her. Now, again, I never accused her of being a beautiful woman, but Elvis wanted her. Real bad. He wanted to go out with her. He asked her for a date. Her daddy and this guy, he was married to June Carter at one time. Then Johnny would get her. We're talking, it was Carl Smith's birthday. Remember the song, I Fell in Love Last Night, Carlene Carter? Mm-hmm. That would be her daddy. He was a big Grand Ole Opry star back in the day. But he was married to June Carter first.
All right.
Something to think on there. She must have been the woman.
I wonder if Dina Carter, you know, the one that strawberry wine?
Yeah.
I wonder if she's any kin to
possibly
those Carters.
And I should know that, and I don't. So if you happen to know who Dina's kin to, pass that along. She could be. I just can't remember. Let's see. It'd be 1954. There's a few folks that still remember this. He came on television for the first time on this date. And you would all remember how he closed out his news segment. And he would say, if I remember, that's the way it was. Mm-hmm. And we're talking Walter Cronkite. His very first day of broadcasting began today. He premiered. He had such an honest way of telling things. He didn't seem to slant it. Told the news the way it was.
Mm-hmm. I used to love to listen to him and Paul Harvey. You know,
favorites there. 1975, this old girl was born. She's beautiful. There's no other way to word her. Eva Longoria, if I pronounced her name correctly, celebrating her birthday today. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Longoria.
Was she a part of that women show on the street there where they all fought over the handyman?
Desperate Housewives. Was that the name of it? Desperate Housewives?
Or Housewives Street, or what was that?
I thought it was Desperate Housewives. Yeah.
But it was the handyman that they all, Mr. Dream Two Belt or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he was wasn't he like a yard guy or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's possibly what had happened. And they are not related. I just got a text.
Not related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't know that. 1977. Who remembers this? I do. It was.
I do too. I watched it all the time.
Premiered tonight. That was a Van Dyke, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
And that was kind of like the Brady Bunch on steroids. And that little guy there, he seemed to be the plot of a lot of the TV shows. I don't remember his name, but it was a big show back in the day. Premiered tonight.
We had gotten one of those little Roku things.
What's a Roku?
It's like a little thing you attach to your TV and you can watch all these different
Oh,
channels.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's got like all these old shows on it. There's like a channel for each one of these shows. It's the neatest thing.
Three's Company, as we talk about older shows, also premiered on this date, 1977, when all this happened. You would grow accustomed to this, and then it wouldn't be long that the Ropers would move out, and then Don Knotts would move in as head of the apartment complex.
He was always funny.
Now, am I right in saying that Suzanne Summers didn't make it but maybe a year and a half? And when she asked for more money, they said, no, we're not paying you, and they canned her.
I don't know what the whole reasoning for her leaving was.
It was money.
Yeah.
I just don't remember how long it was.
But I thought I read that she and Janet, I think the other one's name was Janet on the show, did not get along.
They did not.
Yeah. So.
But who couldn't remember that swimsuit with the water being poured on it, and you go.
Yeah.
But she would be replaced several times with different actors. Nicholas was that little guy's name there off of 80s Enough. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. As we look at other things, 1956 was a big day. It was the day that the Colonel would become a millionaire for the rest of his life because he hustled Elvis. Elvis signed a contract with Colonel Tom Parker on this date, Graceland. That was a big thing there. Elvis would go on to become world-renowned. I think we all know that.
The guy's name was Dick Van Patten.
Dick Van Patten. Yeah. Okay, you see where I got the name.
Well, there's a Dick Van Dyke, so yeah.
And I want to say Dick Van Patten just recently passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Marjorie, we would appreciate the comment there.
Yes.
Y'all on top of this stuff.
I know. Good morning, everybody.
Let's see, 1970, and this song is still played on radio today. Merle Haggard would have his biggest of his career at that time, and it would be You're Walking on the Fighting Side of Me if you're running down our country.
That's the song that needs to be played every day.
Yeah, nationally.
Nationally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with it. So many of you do too.
When I heard that not long ago, I thought, this is exactly what's going on in state time. People need to have this attitude right here.
Denise straightens me out. I had it all mixed up. She said that Suzanne was on the show for 5 years, 77 to 81.
Okay.
I know she did Demand Money, and they got rid of her.
I don't know who the other girl's name was that replaced her, but I remember what her name was.
She played the nurse, Terry, on there.
Yeah, Terry. That's her.
And then there was another one after Terry. And I really don't know
I remember
her
the
name.
one, yeah, that you're talking about, but I can't remember what their names were.
The show centered around Jack, and he was funny. There's no doubt. Did you know that he was on the Waltons? He was the preacher on the Waltons.
You know, I did hear that, and I think I did see the episode. But
yeah. I hate to admit this, but I have never watched this movie ever, and I know everybody knows it, but never have I sat down and watched it. The Godfather opened in theaters in 1972. Have you ever watched that?
Pieces of it.
I know they always talk with that.
Looked like he had something in his jaw.
Yeah. I know it's a must to own a Cadillac that has a big trunk if you're a gangster. Right. That was always a must in the movies.
Maybe had some concrete blocks.
Yeah, for extra room. Yeah. On this night in 2008, Randy Travis would walk out and surprise someone with an invitation to join the Grand Ole Opry. And it was Carrie Underwood. That would be right before the stroke and all happened to him, and she would become a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long since she's
08.
08, and it's 22. Time flies by.
We ain't young no more, are we? Woo! This would be about the time that country music went that way. 2011, if you'll remember, this was the #1 song on this date, and it would be Lady Antebellum before they changed their name. And I Need You Now was the #1 song on this date back in 11. Thereafter that, I don't think I've heard a song.
What is her mother's name?
Davis?
Linda Davis. That was in the...
She done a bunch of duets with Reba.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Yep.
That's a quick look at a few things that happened on this date back in history. Maybe it brought back a smile. You remembered a thing or two. 8 is enough. Boy, that goes back a few years there.
It does.
Premiered. Let's talk about Chet's Paint and Body. Well, you can't go wrong. If you've had any type of car damage and you need it taken care of, well, you want somebody that's honest and dependable. That's Chet. From any type of dent that you can imagine. No matter what the situation, how it happened, they can put it back to the way it was before. Numerous looks at cars that are in the shop, in and out, from front edge damage to side damage. Highway 495 is where you'll find them. Honesty and dependability. That's what you call T-boned. This is one of those accidents that happens. Messed up a truck. They're going to put it back to the way it was. It'll be great looking after it's said and done there. See Chet, find out why so many people use his name. It's fast. It's easy. When they tell you something, well, they stand behind it. They shake your hand and will have your car ready for you. See them. Chet's Paint Body, 737-2961. Drop in. You'll see that. That's their office there. Walk in. They'll help you with all the insurance work. You won't have to worry about anything else. Free quotes. See them today. It's all happening there. Right out here in the Center Hill area, they'll help you. See them today. They'll help you.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident?
I knew Richard Schwartz was local, and I knew he knew that rural area. When I really needed help, he got me back on my feet. Richard Schwartz knows the roads, he knows the people, and he fights for bikers.
Let's talk about return policies. When you buy something, you expect, well, I've got 30 days to return it.
Right.
Maybe an auction is not that way. I've never bought anything in an auction. I've never done that.
I've never done the auction thing either, but yeah, I would be kind of aggravated if I had paid a lot for something.
Tom Brady is what we're referring to. And if the news broke yesterday afternoon, the football of his last game that threw the winning touchdown was sold at auction. $518,000 was paid for that football. It was worth a lot of money and was expected to gain value. Right up until yesterday when we got that message that, well, he's coming back out of retirement after 6 weeks. It was just hours. The guy paid for this, won it in auction, and then hours later, he would find out that he's coming. You know what that football's worth now?
What?
$20,000.
That'll make you sick to your stomach.
518 paid, now worth 20. And the auction company is telling him, well, when we actually sold it, that's what the value was, and you still got to pay for it. Is there a way to get out of paying for that?
Well, I mean, who offered the ball up?
It was an auction, online auction. I'm sure.
But who gave that ball? I'm just wondering, does somebody else get a kickback? From the 500 and something thousand, did somebody else put it in the auction to make money off of it? I'd be going towards them.
I would almost. The NFL has to be tied into it some way because they own the ball that's thrown.
Yeah. So
and
I'd be upset.
But I don't know if you can go back on your word on auction. I don't know how that works. Because I'm sure they have your credit card information. They won't let you bid unless you can pay for it.
Right.
I bet they suck that out of your account as soon as you do it.
That
hey, y'all remember
make you sick.
The old days when you could write a check in a store and then try to beat it to the bank 2 days later and pay for it? You don't do that no more.
Yeah.
It shows automatically right then when you write a check if you've got the money.
It pulls it right on out.
Things are changing. We learned also yesterday, Bob Saget, and you have to agree with the family on this.
Yeah.
Autopsy photos just don't need to be made public when somebody is dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't want somebody looking at stuff like that if somebody had passed away in my family, or if it was me that passed away. I would hope my family would think the same way.
But a Florida judge has permanently banned the release of the autopsy pictures. Now, they will let pictures of the room out that don't include pictures of Bob in it. Right. But all of this is tied, and they will not be made public. So
I totally agree with that, but something is just odd about the whole situation, don't you?
There's really, because at first they were saying it was the bed that done it. Then they said it was the floor in the shower and he never left out.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, I mean, from when we heard that there were several spots on his head, that leads you to kind of think, is there an altercation of some kind, or who knows?
They're trying to say now they think it was I don't think they could ever prove it because there's no cameras in
right.
it. But they do know that by watching video of what they tell us, that he never came back out of the room. They also tell us that no one entered Jeffrey's cell.
Right.
And the cameras went off. Just saying, you can't always
That's real convenient.
believe
Cameras
what
went
you're
off.
told.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I can't prove anything. I'm just saying sometimes it doesn't add up. This is horrible. New York City. And you see what you would call serial killers that float around. There's been 2 killed so far. New York City that is going around murdering homeless that are sleeping on benches and park benches. The mayor is urging the homeless to get off the street until this criminal is caught. How could you? But again, none of us are of that mindset, and we don't quite understand that.
Right.
Of what makes someone like that tick. Is it enjoyment that they get out of seeing someone else hurt?
That's a sick individual.
I
you get
can't.
enjoyment over hurting or killing someone. That's just
Well, and there's more of that going on. Yesterday, we also learned that a F-15 almost went down at 21,000 feet due to a balloon getting hung in the motor. Almost crashed. It's okay now. That happened. It was a U.S. 15 that went up. It was over in Britain where that happened, though, in the airspace there. They were doing some training. 1995, be careful what you do because technology has changed. And as you sign up for this genealogy sites, what you're doing is just giving your DNA for someone to track you down. 1995 murder has been solved due to a cigarette butt at the crime scene. DNA.
Yeah.
They have. He's 61 now. It was a 61-year-old woman. And they have going to put him in the jailhouse now for that.
I mean, I'm glad that they have the ability to do that kind of stuff. I wish, that it hadn't come so late.
Right.
These people have lost loved ones, didn't know what happened, but I'm just glad they got it now. It's a good thing.
But and I say this, and I'm probably going to make some people that lean to the left mad over this. But when you go to get your driver's license, I have nothing wrong with doing this. When you go to get your driver's license, giving a thumbprint with your driver's license, and what's wrong with giving the DNA that they have there in case something were to happen to you to where they could track you down? And I say that, would criminals think, well, that's just giving it away? Am I going too far? But wouldn't that help the outcome of being able to find people if you've done that? Fingerprints and DNA, just so it's on file?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Is that stepping over someone's rights? Am I going too far?
Like a thumbprint or something, or fingerprint, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know that people would offer up their DNA, but,
I'm just saying it would help in cases where people come up missing. You'd be without a shadow of a doubt who it was.
It would help.
But is that stepping over a boundary line that I'm just not thinking enough into? I'm looking at the safety of everyone on that.
Right.
But again, it may be too far.
I just wonder, could somebody use that DNA? How you hear about people like getting a hold of somebody's DNA and using it to, I wouldn't think they could clone somebody with your DNA without, who knows though what they could do.
And again,
but like I get really, I can't believe that some people get so worked up about having to give their thumbprint or like a photo ID when it comes to voting and stuff like that, voting rights.
Right.
Because I don't see the big deal. I mean, you can go cash a check at a bank that you're not a member of, and they'll ask for your fingerprint. Have you ever done that?
Correct.
Yeah.
If it's not your bank.
They're like, we need your thumbprint. And I'm like, oh, God, you need a blood sample too? But, anyway, why do people get so worked up about it? I mean, it's obvious why, because I feel like maybe they want people to vote that.
Right. Candace may be on to something here.
Anyway.
That's a thought there. A few of you agree, some of you don't agree with the DNA thing. I don't think it would bother me, but that's just my thoughts, and I have not done a lot of research into the pros and cons of that. That ran through my head, and I shared that thought. Yeah. So it may not be a good thing.
The fingerprint, though, I think it's a good thing.
Hey, and I think you ought to give your actual weight when you get your driver's license, too, because I'm telling them state troopers, when they pull you over, don't none of that stuff match no more. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Oh, goodness.
I ain't lied. That does happen. Because when you're, 14, you get your driver's license, and the weight stays the same thing till you die.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can't keep your same picture, on there.
You got to swap that out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our friends over at Snowden & Company. They've got a lot going on with getting you ready for your home, whether it's that brand new house that you've been dying to get or, changing up as life changes and downsizing or upgrading. No matter what that case is, Lamar and Diane sold their house, and you've got Rachel and Alan buying. There's so many people that do that. Probably friends right down the road from you have done this, have used them. Find out why so many people use this. Well, I can tell you ahead of time. It's trustworthiness. If you haven't spoken to Amanda, she stands behind what she says, honest as they can be. I grew up with her. I give my thumb approval on her, an old Kemper County girl there. Find your dream home. Call them at 453-3937. You can do this Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. By appointment on Saturday. They're going to close on Sunday. And they do this from Lauderdale County, all of this immediate area, even over to Jackson. Brandon, Madison, Forest, if you want to move there. Maybe you want a double wide with some land or an acre land. Maybe you got way too much land. You're tired of cutting grass. Well, they can probably find you one that has all concrete too. Talk to them. Find out ways to cut back on that. Snowden & Company Real Estate. See them. You'll find so many homes there at Snowden & Company. They've got it for you. And here's the folks that sell for them. Visit them today. You can drop in or just, give them a call. You'll see them again. That's Snowden & Company Real Estate.
Remember, one call, that's all. I'm Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As we talk about crime, and I'm going to bring up two instances. Mm-hmm. This happened in New York City is one of the biggest things of this. They've cut back on cops. Mm-hmm. But a 42-year-old man hit a 67-year-old lady 125 times, punched her 125 times. And they've got it all on video from the subway cameras. Why would a man want to hurt? And he is big. I've looked at the video, and she's a smaller woman. Why would you want to do that? It's pure meanness is what it is. The second story, and I don't know if I can get to it, is a reporter, as a nurse in Seattle, Washington, that is going down stair steps. Also, a 40-year-old man jumps on her. She was 62. Beat her. I stumble around with this. Protect yourself. They're called equalizers, I think. They've made a movie about that called The Equalizer. Yeah. Just always be aware of your surroundings. I don't care where you are, what city, what you're doing, even outside before daylight in our area. Look around.
Right. And a lot of people don't tote a firearm or anything, but you might want to rethink that the way things have gotten. I'm not saying walk around and hurt somebody if you don't need to.
Alabama passed a law this past week, signed into law. It won't go into effect until January, to where the concealed carry permit that you have to have, gone. Yeah. You can tote it, you can hide it, you can do what you want.
But you need to know how to use it. Practice, training with it and stuff like that, for sure.
Those are the few things. NATO is flexing some muscles, folks. 30,000 troops are headed to Poland, right there on the line. And it's a thing of, if you cross this line, Putin, it's going to be, well, y'all know what I'm leaning towards. So,
I've just heard so much about nuclear. I mean, it makes me, it really makes me uneasy.
There's a lot of uneasiness now, and he knows what he's doing. He thought he would waltz in. You have to give credit to the Ukrainian people for fighting for their homeland. I mean, it's been door to door. It's not just people that are military. It is normal people like you and I watching this that grabbed a weapon and protected their home.
Yeah.
Oh, the innocent people that have been taken out. It's horrifying.
But, them asking for help from China and stuff, and I don't know. I guess everybody's just kind of like waiting to see what China's going to say. Are they going to help them? I mean, I know that it's been said if they do, then it's going to be crossing that line. That
WW word. We're all worried about that. Let's hope nothing like this comes to that. But, there's a generation, and even in my generation when I come along, you got to see the Gulf War, but nothing like people that lived through the 40s where rationing happened. And it really affected the economy of supplies that you could get. You and I haven't lived through anything like that. We've had wars, but not anything. We're at a different time now.
You could only get so much of this and so much of that.
Gas rations. People had large families because you couldn't get food at the store. You had to grow it. It is.
I mean, if you don't garden, it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
To start,
And then, then you bring up gardens. Most of the seeds that you go buy will not reproduce now. Yeah, they've genetically made them to where they grow once.
And they don't grow some of them don't grow as well, as the other ones did. But
just a few small thoughts as we watch what Russia is doing over there.
So if you have older seeds that you keep, a lot of people replenish their seeds.
Yeah.
I know my mother, she does. So anyway.
We all want to see Candace in the garden is all I'm after.
Well, I can garden now, I'll tell you.
There ain't nothing worse.
I can can stuff.
I remember as a kid getting up at 5 a.m. before daylight with a hoe in hand and going and getting that grass out. Ooh, you want to talk about work? Yeah. Those are the longest rows you'll ever see in your life.
I'm glad that I learned to do that kind of stuff, though. I mean, I really am glad that I did learn to do it. I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Those are a few of the headlines that are happening across America today. We'll keep you up to date with everything that happens today, from the rain to what good things go on in our community to things that you need to know that cross the line also. We're here to keep you updated on all that. As always, we ask for, if you've got a community event, let us know. Send it to us in boxes so we can tell others.
That's right. And we appreciate every day y'all on here commenting with us, and we hope y'all have a wonderful day today. But be very careful today. The roads are wet. Take your umbrella.
They are. And Barbara said she keeps her seeds in the freezer. I've heard of a lot of people doing that.
You do.
Keeps them good. Again, thank you. Bless your hearts for being here with us. We appreciate it because sometimes we're tough to deal with.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, he is.
Yeah. See you bright and early tomorrow.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by our following partners: